Hi there, YouTube. I haven't done a video about my family in a while, but this one's not really about my Jehovah's Witness family. This is about the whole damn thing. What good has ever come out of my family relationships, particularly on my mom's side? Some of them are okay. I'm not saying that they're bad people or even that I don't love them, because I do. Too bad for me. I'm just saying that they've been a constant source of pain for pretty much my entire life, since well before I left the Jehovah's Witnesses. Every major event in my life has been hijacked to the point where I didn't even tell my family when I was graduating with my master's degree or giving birth to either of my children until after the fact, because I wanted to avoid the endless drama. Y'all, there was a fist fight immediately before my baby shower. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. Luckily, I wasn't the one getting punched that time, but still. At my wedding to my first husband, my mother bullied me into cooking a full-scale pancake breakfast that I had not planned for on my wedding morning, which no one, including her, wanted. And then my grandmother called and told me that they were not coming to the wedding because I was disfellowshipped, even though they had promised previously to come. I can remember her screaming, "Take your spanking! Take your spanking!" over and over and over again until I threw the cordless phone out the front door in a rage. And then 8 years later, when I got married for the second time, I'm not even going there. Think 28 Days with Sandra Bullock. My sister and I did not speak for a full year afterward. It's amazing that our relationship came back from that. It really is. Those are just a few examples, though. Actually, you know what? The apostate community is nicer to me than my own family. My family has consistently disrespected me, defrauded me, manipulated me, shamed me, and shunned me, called me a liar, stolen from me, and done things to deliberately hurt my feelings. They've called me names, belittled me, and I don't think I've ever received a compliment from them that wasn't backhanded. They've been at best absent and at worst actively destructive. Various members of my family have turned on me at various times for reasons that really don't make sense to me. And for a long time, I've thought that this was something about me, that I somehow caused it or brought it on, that I was the problem. Let me tell you some of the reasons why I've been shunned, slandered, called names, screamed at, shamed, threatened, lied to, and occasionally assaulted. I had different beliefs from them. I refused to obey. I had visual migraines. I had sex with someone who I was in a committed relationship with at the time. I succeeded in life without their help. I did better than they expected. Maybe I did better than they ever have. And that frosts their asses. For some, it's because I'm not submissive, and I call out bullshit when I see it. For some, it's I haven't really inherited all the family weight and health problems. Don't worry, I'm still plenty fat. For some, it's because I recognize that they were gaslighting me and trying to take advantage of me, and I put a hard stop to it. For some, it's because they want something that I have, or they think I have, and they can't figure out a way to take it from me. For some, it's because they made commitments and promises to me that they had no intention of keeping. Or maybe it's because I've been generous to a fault with my time, my energy, and my money. Maybe there's some guilt feelings there. Or maybe I'm giving people way too much credit. There's definitely a completely unwarranted sense of entitlement, for sure. You know, there are so many examples. Once I stopped trying to make excuses for people. So one family member in particular thinks that my sister and I are greedy because we will eventually inherit property that belongs to our mother. Now, we, primarily me, are also taking care of our mother, who this individual can't even be bothered to visit. But I'm such a greedy person that I hosted all the holidays the year we moved back here. Nobody even once reciprocated. I once paid several $100s for this person to attend a class they wanted to take. One year, I bought this same person a $400 guitar for Christmas. When they were in transition, I let them live at my mom's house rent-free for months, and do you know what happened? The place got trashed. And despite repeated promises, this person never lifted a finger to clean up or make any repairs or do anything whatsoever. In fact, they left me with 5 or 6 full household-sized trash cans, as tall as I am, no lie, full of garbage, that sat there for 4 months until I was finally able to beg another family member who had a truck to haul it off. There's also a contingent of my family who is apparently furious with me for putting security cameras up at my mom's house. They kept throwing parties out there, which, by the way, my sister and I were never invited to. They would leave the place completely trashed. They would never own up to who did it. They'd just leave me to pay the bills and fix everything. Now, my sister and I know exactly who leaves filthy dishes and the rancid food and the broken doors. And y'all can't stand it, can you? Think, assholes. Why would I want to watch a party I wasn't invited to? Nobody's watching you except a glance at who's there. Seriously, you're not that interesting. Get over yourselves. Now, if the first thing I see is someone flipping off the camera, or I happen to hear my name first thing, well, of course I'm going to listen to what you have to say. Although, if you had any cojones whatsoever, you'd say it to my face instead of talking shit behind my back. How about this? If you don't want to be seen or heard, you might ask yourself what you're doing and saying that you're ashamed of. Or you might consider sitting somewhere other than directly in front of the security camera, which is not hidden and which you all know is there. Why do you care so much whether I know if you're there or not? I'm willing to bet it's because you know you're in the wrong and you don't want to be confronted with it. But the all-time top of the list, the ultimate reason why I am the most horrible person in existence, is because my sister and I asked a certain family member not to destroy the flowers from my grandmother's funeral last weekend. Yes, you heard that correctly. Now, when we saw this, my sister called and asked nicely for someone to please move the rose bush out of the doorway. That's it. This was the reaction.
Yeah, I know you hear me.
The person apologized on text message. We thought everything was fine. Maybe the alcohol talking. But then the next morning, completely unprovoked, this happened.
Fuck this fucking road.
I don't know why anyone would do something like this. Especially someone who claims to have loved grandmother whose biggest passion in life was plants and flowers. Those were the only flowers at her funeral. That's equivalent to you taking a piss on her grave, and I will never forgive you for it. After a lifetime of this kind of bullshit, I've kept on coming back and kept on trying to empathize and understand and justify and excuse. I've kept on expecting and hoping for something that these people are not capable of. They don't understand love. They don't understand kindness. They don't even understand how to have a conversation. No, it's not every person in the family. You know who you are. But by and large, the bad outweighs the good by a significant margin. What I've been doing my entire life is enabling. On some level, I allowed this to happen by tolerating it. I will not be complicit in my own abuse. I will not be complicit in my own abuse. I will not. I've decided that I'm done breaking my ass to hold the door open for you inconsiderate, indifferent, sometimes hateful, jealous people anymore. I'm done. From now on, I'm looking out for me and my family. I'm saving my kind and generous self for people who actually deserve it. But it's been a teachable moment on several counts. There's this landmark for me, of course, but there's also been a wake-up call about what my children are allowed exposure to. Because after the funeral, i.e., 45 minutes in a kingdom hall, my oldest child began reciting the scripture about death and tears and stuff being no more and asking questions about paradise earth. And my youngest here had a long and completely unsolicited talk with me about what better choices certain people could have made, how they should have used their words, and how it's wrong to be mean to plants and animals. I have good babies. I mean, these are good boys. In fact, Harrison's kind of adopted the rose bush. She's been planted beside our red rose bushes because Harrison said she needed to be near her friends to feel better. He sings her songs and shares his water bottle with her when he comes home from school. We have named the rose bush Rosa Parks because through adversity, she persisted.
What do roses need to grow?
I don't know. What do roses need to grow?
Water and sun and
Dirt.
warm too.
Do you think Rosa Parks is happy?
Yes,
Does she like the red rose bushes?
I think.
You think so?